right, let's try another example where we go through and do some row operations. I've already given us the augmented matrix. I just need to go through the designated operations that they tell us to do and simplify it as far as we can. So part A, it says interchange row 2 with row 3. This is the matrix that we're using. So I need to interchange row 2 with row 3. All that means is switch row 2 and row 3 around. So I keep row 1. And I'm going to switch the second and the third row. So the second row is going to become the third row. And the third row is going to become the second row. So notice all I did so far, this symbol here with the double arrow means to interchange or switch. So I switch row 2 with row 3. So that's all I did. All right, part B. Part B says to multiply 1/3 times row 3 and then place your final answers in row 3. So this means we're going to take our row 3, because we're using the previous one, and we're going to multiply all of these numbers by 1/3. So we are doing nothing with row 1 and row 2. So I'm just going to bring them down. So I'm going to multiply everything in row 3 by 1/3. Multiply by 1/3, multiply by 1/3, multiply by 1/3, multiply by 1/3. So 0, 0, 1, and 4. Part C. Now I'm going to take everything in row 2 and multiply by -1/2. Take everything in row 2, multiply by -1/2, and put your final answer in row 2. So I'm doing nothing with row 1. Doing nothing with row 3. The only row that I'm doing something with is row 2, and I'm gonna multiply by -1/2. So take half of all of these numbers. When I do that, that's gonna give me -1, -2, 1, and -4. Part D. Part D tells us to add row 1 with row 2. Add row 1 with row 2 and put your final answer in row 2. So I'm going to keep row 1 and row 3. And we're going to add row 1 and row 2 together and put that final answer in row 2. That's why I left it blank. So we're going to add row 1 with row 2, and we're going to put the final answers in row 3. So that's going to give us 0, 3, 0, and -15. I got a couple more I want to practice just so we can make sure we can get our different rows and things together. Let me recopy our answer from row D so that we'll have that to look at. So from part D, we got 1, 5, -1, -11, 0, 3, 0, -15, 0, 0, 1, and 4. So that's what we already had on the front side of the paper. I just want to keep that there so that we can visually see how to do this one. So now it says to do 1/3 times row 2. So we're going to multiply all of these numbers in row 2 by 1/3. So I'm going to keep the first one, keep the last one. Okay. And we're going to multiply all of these numbers in row 2 by 1/3. Multiply by third, multiply by third, multiply by third, multiply by third. That's going to give us 0, 1, 0, -5. And the last one that we'll take a look at. This one says to do -5 times row 2 and then add that to row 1. So I'm going to go ahead and take everything in row 2 and multiply by negative 5. So if I multiply by negative 5, multiply by negative 5, multiply by negative 5, multiply by negative 5. And we're going to add that to everything in row 1. This is row 1. So I'm going to write it out. 1, 5, negative 1, negative 11. Now it says to take our final answer from when we do this and put it in row 1. So if I add these together, 0 plus 1, negative 5 plus 5, 0 plus negative 1, and 25 plus negative 11. So this is our new row 1. So I took everything in row 2 and I multiplied by negative 5. Then I added that to row 1 to get our new row 1. So our final matrix. So this is our new row 1. 1, 0, negative 1, 14. I did nothing with row 2. I did nothing with row 3. So row 2 is 0, 1, 0, negative 5. And row 3 is 0, 0, 1, 4. So this is our final matrix. And just to recap, if I put all these videos together, I would keep going so that there are ones everywhere and zeros everywhere else. So this one is almost finished, but I think that we've had enough practice. Just making sure we go through and look at the symbols and do whatever operation it tells us to do.